Here's the 600-word speech segment expanding. Key point 1, stop complaining, start owning your journey. Written in Eric Thomas's intense, motivational, and educational style with emotional storytelling, rhythm, and energy. No headings, just pure flow and impact. But you've got to stop complaining. I'm serious. Every time you open your mouth to make an excuse, you're wasting energy that could have gone into changing your life. You say, my teacher doesn't explain it right. You say, I don't have a quiet place to study. You say, it's hard for me to focus. I get it. But I'm telling you right now, life doesn't care about your excuses. Life only rewards effort, consistency, and ownership. You've got to take control of your education. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to hand you straight A's. Nobody's going to drag you across that finish line. This is your journey, your future, your responsibility. Stop waiting for someone else to believe in you. Stop waiting for your friends to hype you up. Stop waiting for your circumstances to be perfect. It'll never be perfect. You've got to learn to move even when things are messy, even when you're tired, even when it feels unfair. I remember being in that same position, sitting in class, frustrated, thinking the world owed me something because life was hard. Let me tell you what changed everything the day I stopped blaming people and started looking in the mirror. The moment I said, I'm responsible for this. I control how hard I work. I control my focus. I control how much I study. That's the day my life changed. Because when you take ownership, you take your power back. As long as you're blaming, you're giving your power away. You say the teacher's boring. Fine. Go find the information yourself. You say you don't understand the topic. Watch the tutorials. Ask for help. You say your environment's loud. Then wake up earlier. Stay up later. Go to the library. Find a way. Winners find a way. Losers find an excuse. And I know that might sting a little, but I'd rather hurt your feelings and wake you up than let you stay asleep in your potential. You've got to realize something. Complaining is easy because it lets you stay the same. Taking ownership is hard because it forces you to grow. But that's what separates average from exceptional. That's what separates those who talk from those who actually make it. The ones who win don't wait for the system to work in their favor. They work the system until it bends. They don't need perfect conditions. They create results in the middle of the storm. You say you don't have the best resources. That's fine. Use what you've got. Turn your phone into your classroom. Turn your notebook into your roadmap. Turn your pain into your motivation. Because when you take ownership, you stop focusing on what you don't have and start maximizing what you do have. And that mindset right there, that's what changes everything. And listen, I know it's not easy. It's not supposed to be. Growth isn't comfortable. Progress isn't convenient. But I'm telling you, every time you choose responsibility over excuses, you're rewriting your story. You're saying, I'm not a victim. I'm a victor. Every late night you study instead of scrolling. Every assignment you finish instead of skipping. Every time you show up when no one's watching. That's ownership. That's how you win. So from this day on, more blaming the system, the teacher, the parents, the environment. No more pointing fingers. You take that same hand you've been pointing and use it to build, to write, to create, to change your life. Because at the end of the day, it's your name on that diploma, it's your future on the line, and it's your work that will decide your destiny. No excuses, just ownership. Get to work. You keep saying, I'm not motivated. That's your problem right there. You're waiting for motivation to show up like it's some kind of miracle drug that's going to push you out of bed, make you study, make you grind. But let me tell you something, motivation is temporary. Discipline is permanent. Motivation might get you started, but discipline is what keeps you going when every part of you wants to quit. See, everybody can work hard when they feel good. Everybody can study when the music's right, when the mood's right, when life feels easy. But champions work when it hurts. Champions show up when the emotions are gone. You think successful students wake up every day excited to open a textbook? No, they do it because they made a decision that their goals are not negotiable. They don't need to feel ready. They just need to be disciplined. You've got to learn to do it even when you don't feel like it. Because feelings are temporary. Habits are everything. You might not feel like studying today, but that 1 hour you push through, that's an investment in your future. You might not feel like writing that essay, but when you finish, you're building mental toughness. You're teaching your mind that you're in control, not your emotions. That's the difference between people who talk about success and people who live it. Discipline is doing what needs to be done even when nobody's clapping for you. It's showing up for yourself when no one's watching. It's waking up at 5 a.m. because you said you would. It's choosing to go to class when you could have stayed in bed. It's staying focused while everybody else is distracted. Discipline is the quiet work, the unseen grind, the unglamorous effort that builds results. Motivation screams, discipline whispers, but discipline wins. Some of you are waiting for inspiration when what you really need is commitment. You keep saying, when I feel better, I'll start. No. When you start, you'll feel better. When you take action, your energy rises. When you follow through, your confidence grows. You don't get discipline overnight. You build it brick by brick. One decision at a time. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you're building trust in who you are becoming. And yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. It's supposed to be. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. You're not supposed to like every part of the process. But I promise you this, the pain of discipline is nothing compared to the pain of regret. When you stay disciplined, you're choosing your future over your feelings. You're saying, rather be tired now than broke later. I'd rather struggle now than fail forever. I need you to start operating like success is your duty, not your option. You can't pick and choose when to give effort. You can't study only when you're motivated and expect excellence. You've got to be consistent. You've got to be relentless. The great ones aren't special, they're just consistent. They show up again and again and again until discipline becomes part of who they are. Every morning you wake up, you've got a choice. You can let the day control you, or you can control the day. You can say, I don't feel like it, or you can say, do it anyway. And every time you choose, do it anyway, you're rewriting your future. You're building a version of yourself that's unstoppable. So stop waiting to feel motivated. Stop waiting for perfect timing. You don't need the right mood. You need the right mindset. You don't need a spark. You need a system. You don't need hype. You need habits. Because motivation fades. But discipline will take you everywhere you want to go. No feelings, no excuses, just discipline. Get to work. You keep looking at your struggle like it's punishment. You keep saying, why me? Why is this so hard? Why can't things be easy for once? But what you don't understand is, the struggle is the blessing. The struggle is the process that's shaping you, molding you, building the version of you that's strong enough to handle success. You think you're ready for the next level, but the truth is, you're still in training. Life's testing you to see if you can handle what you're asking for. You say you want good grades, a degree, a future full of opportunities. But how are you going to handle it if you can't even handle the pressure right now? Struggle is your strength in disguise. Every late night you push through, every time you fail and get back up, every moment you fight that voice in your head telling you to quit, that's you becoming stronger. That's your character being built brick by brick. Listen, nobody becomes great without going through something. Nobody gets to success without scars. Every student who made it, every person who broke through, had to fight through something. Poverty, failure, doubt, fear, rejection. And you're not any different. The difference between those who win and those who don't isn't that one group had it easier. It's that one group decided not to let the struggle break them. They decided to use it. You've got to flip how you see your pain. Stop running from it and start learning from it. When you fail that test, don't get bitter. Get better. When things don't go your way, don't give up. Step up. The struggle is teaching you something school can't. It's teaching you persistence. It's teaching you resilience. It's teaching you to fight for what you want. Because if everything came easy, you'd never grow. You'd never learn discipline. You'd never build that fire inside that says, no matter what happens, I'm not quitting. I know what it feels like to be tired. I know what it feels like to feel overlooked, like nobody sees how hard you're trying. Hear me. Every ounce of effort you put in when no one's clapping for you is building something inside of you that can't be taken away. Every tear, every failure, every disappointment, it's not wasted. It's adding layers to your strength. You've got to understand, success is heavy. And if you don't go through the struggle, you'll never have the muscle to carry it. You've got to go through pain now so you can handle power later. You've got to learn how to keep showing up even when you're tired, because that's what life's going to demand from you. School isn't just about grades, it's training your mind, your focus, your persistence. When life gets hard, and it will, those same lessons will be the reason you keep going. Don't despise your struggle. Embrace it. The struggle is proof you're growing. It means you're trying to reach higher. It means you care enough to push yourself beyond your comfort zone. If you weren't struggling, it would mean you're not challenging yourself. So when it's hard, when it feels impossible, smile and say, good. That means I'm getting stronger. Because one day, that same struggle that's making you cry today will be the story that inspires someone tomorrow. One day, you'll look back and realize every tough moment was preparing you for this. Struggle isn't holding you back, it's building you up. So stop running from the hard stuff. Stop wishing it was easier. Wish you were stronger. And then get up and prove it. No pain, no excuses. Just growth. Get to work. You keep saying you don't have time, but the truth is, you do. You're just not using it right. Every single person in this room gets the same 24 hours. The difference between those who win and those who lose isn't time. It's what they do with it. Some people treat time like it's infinite, like they can waste it and just get more later. But once it's gone, it's gone. You can't rewind. You can't replay. You can't get yesterday back. You've got dreams, right? You've got goals. You've got things you want to do with your life, but dreams don't care about excuses. They care about effort. And every day you spend procrastinating, every moment you spend scrolling instead of studying, every hour you waste doing what's easy instead of what's necessary, you're pushing your dream further away. You say you want to be successful. Are you managing your time like someone who's serious about success? Because time management is really life management. How you use your time is a reflection of how much you respect your future. I need you to stop saying, I'll do it later. Later is a trap. Later turns into tomorrow. Tomorrow turns into next week. And before you know it, the opportunity's gone. You've got to start living like time is valuable, like every second counts. Because it does. The clock doesn't stop just because you're tired. It doesn't pause because you're stressed. It doesn't care if you're ready. It keeps ticking. And every tick of that clock is a reminder. Your future is either being built or destroyed by what you're doing right now. You say, I just need a break. I get it. Rest is important. Some of you aren't tired. You're just distracted. You're not resting, you're escaping. You're spending hours on things that don't add anything to your life, and then you say you don't have time to study, to read, to grow. No, you have time. You're just not protecting it. You're giving it away to everything that doesn't move you forward, and you've got to stop waiting for the perfect moment. There's no perfect time to start. There's no perfect day to chase your goals. You've got to move now. You've got to act while you've got the chance. You don't know what tomorrow brings. You don't know how long the window of opportunity will stay open. So if there's something you want, something you've been dreaming about, don't waste another second. Start now. Because the best time to begin was yesterday. The next best time is right now. Time is the most expensive thing you own. And most people don't even realize it. You can lose money and make it back. You can lose friends and find new ones. But when you lose time, it's gone forever. That's why successful people protect their time like treasure. They guard it. They plan it. They use it intentionally. They don't just let it slip through their fingers. Because they know every minute they waste is a minute they can't buy back. I'm telling you, stop letting time control you. Take control of it. Wake up earlier. Cut out the distractions. Be intentional with every hour. When you manage your time, you manage your destiny. You say you want to graduate. You say you want to build something great. Then prove it with how you spend your time. Because what you do daily becomes who you are permanently. The truth is, the clock's ticking whether you're working or not. Every second you waste is a second someone else is using to get ahead. So while you're sitting there thinking about it, someone else is already doing it. You've got to decide if you're going to watch time pass or make every moment count. No waiting, no wasting, just work. Get to it. You've got to have a why. You've got to have something deep inside you that drives you when everything around you says quit. Because if your why isn't strong enough, your excuses will always win. Why is that fire that keeps you moving when the world feels heavy, when your mind says it's too hard, when your body wants to give up. That why. That's what separates those who make it from those who almost did. See, when you know why you're doing this, when you know who you're doing it for, the pain hits different. The work hits different. You stop seeing effort as a chore and start seeing it as purpose. You stop saying, I have to study, and you start saying, I get to study. You start saying, I can't, and you start saying, I must. Because your why gives meaning to every sacrifice. Maybe your why is your family. Maybe you watched your parents struggle and you said to yourself, I'm going to change that. Maybe it's your little brother or sister looking up to you, waiting for you to show them it's possible. Maybe it's proving to yourself that you're more than what people said you'd be. Whatever it is, it's got to be personal. It's got to hit your heart. Because when your why is deep enough, you'll find a way through anything. I've seen students fail over and over, not because they weren't smart enough, but because they never connected their goals to something real. They studied for grades, not growth. They worked for approval, not purpose. And when life got hard, they stopped. But when you tie your dream to something that matters, to people you love, to pain you've felt, to promises you've made, you'll fight differently. You'll wake up earlier. You'll stay up later. You'll refuse to let excuses steal your destiny. You've got to understand, success isn't about talent, it's about hunger. And hunger comes from your why. When you're hungry enough, you'll find energy you didn't know you had. You'll work through the fatigue. You'll study through the boredom. You'll push through the frustration, because quitting isn't an option when your why is on the line. And don't let anyone tell you your why isn't valid. Some people won't understand why you're obsessed with success. They'll call you crazy for caring this much. Let them talk. They don't feel what you feel. They don't see what you see. They don't know what you've been through. Why belongs to you. Protect it. Feed it. Let it fuel you every single day. There will be days you doubt yourself. Days you feel like you're wasting time. Days when it feels like nobody believes in you. On those days, remind yourself why you started. Close your eyes and picture the reason you can't quit. See your mother smiling. See your father proud. See your future self standing on that stage holding that diploma, knowing you earned it. That's what you're working for. That's what makes the pain worth it. You're not just studying for a grade. You're studying for your life. Just passing exams. You're building a foundation for everything that comes next. And every time you choose effort over excuses, you're proving to the world that your why is stronger than your comfort. Because when your reason to win is bigger than your reason to quit, nothing can stop you. Not failure, not fatigue, not fear, nothing. No doubts, no excuses, just purpose. Get to work. Everybody wants to shine when the lights are on. The real work, the real growth happens in the dark, when no one's cheering, when no one's watching, when no one's giving you credit. That's where greatness is built. See, everybody wants recognition, but few are willing to put in the work when there's no reward in sight. You've got to be the kind of person who grinds when nobody even knows your name. You've got to be willing to sacrifice the applause now to earn the respect later. You say you want to succeed. You say you want to be great. But are you putting in the work when nobody's looking? Because talk is easy. Posting about goals is easy. What's hard is getting up at 5 a.m. to study while everyone else is asleep. What's hard is staying focused when your friends are out having fun. What's hard is doing it again and again, even when you don't see immediate results. That's what separates the dreamers from the doers. There's something powerful about silent work. It builds discipline. It builds confidence. It builds character. When you work in silence, you stop depending on other people's validation. You stop needing likes, attention, and applause. You start realizing that success isn't about who sees you working. It's about who becomes better because you worked. That's what real growth looks like. Some of you only give your best effort when someone's watching. You act motivated when the teacher's in the room, when your parents are around, when your classmates are paying attention. But the question is, what are you doing when it's just you? What kind of effort are you giving when it's quiet, when it's boring, when there's no one to impress? That's the test. Because if you can't work in private, you'll never perform in public. The truth is, most people will never see the hours you put in. They won't see the early mornings or the late nights. They won't see the sacrifices, the missed parties, the sleepless nights, the doubts you had to fight through. But that's okay, because you're not doing it for them. You're doing it for you. You're doing it for the future you that will one day look back and say, it was all worth it. When you work in silence, you give yourself space to focus. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You don't have to show off your grind. You just have to keep showing up. Every page you read, every problem you solve, every time you push through the temptation to quit, that's the quiet work that builds unstoppable momentum. Flashy. It's not fun, but it's the foundation of greatness. And let me tell you something, when the results come, when the breakthrough finally happens, people will think it happened overnight. They'll say you got lucky. They'll say you changed all of a sudden. They won't see the years you spent in the dark building your craft, sharpening your mind, mastering your focus. They won't see the discipline, the repetition, the tears. But you'll know. You'll know exactly what it took. Because you earned it when no one was watching. So stop worrying about who's noticing your effort. Stop waiting for someone to clap for you. You don't need validation. You need consistency. You don't need attention. You need discipline. Every time you work quietly, you're building something loud, your future. Keep grinding in the dark. Keep pushing when no one's there to tell you good job. Keep showing up for yourself, because the day will come when the world will see what you built in silence. No audience, no spotlight. Just work. Get to it.